Well, good afternoon and welcome back to the National Curling Academy here in Stirling. You have joined British Curling, the semi-final stage of our elite mixed doubles finals. Well, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon and welcome to British Curling, the National Curling Academy here in Stirling. You've found, I'm sure you've chosen to find, the semi-final stage of the British Curling Elite Mixed Doubles Finals. Two cracking matches, we're into day 6 of our competition. No, we're not, day 7 of this competition, building to a final tomorrow morning. But we're trying something new for you this afternoon. We're confident that you'd rather be sitting in an arena watching both of these games live, so we're going to try and bring you both of them live. It's a new step, it's a new experience for us. All of this streaming has been dipping our toes into work and areas that we're not specialists in. The cameras are designed for performance analysis. All of us are learning as we go along, but we're going to try this new trick of giving you the story of both games. So we've got a camera on each game. We're going to focus, and we've got microphones on Sheet C, which is the match between Jennifer Dodds, Bruce Mouat, and Vicky Wright and Grant Hardie. Let's just tell you how they got here. Bruce and Jen topped their pool. We split into 2 pools of 10 teams. We played a round robin, 9 matches, and at the end of those 9 matches, Bruce and Jen had won 8 of those games. They lost 1 on the way, but they finished top of the pool, and as a result, they came straight to this semi-final. So they've had a long lie this morning. They're rested up, whereas Vicky and Grant were back here earlier on this morning. We had them on the ice at 10 o'clock this morning. They were back playing a quarter-final, which they won. They came through against Sophie Sinclair and Duncan Menzies this morning in good form indeed. So they've earned the right to take on Bruce and Jen in this semi-final. Wearing the microphones, Bruce Mouat, Grant Hardie. When they're playing men's curling, their teammates, their third and skip respectively of Team Mouat. So their chatter, their conversation, their guidance to their teammates, their partners here this afternoon should give us a fascinating insight into the two of them. But next door on Sheet D, we've got the match between Eve Muirhead and Bobby Lammie, who also topped their pool, the other pool. They came straight through again with an 8-1 record. So they had a long lie this morning, but earlier on today we watched Maggie Wilson and Robin Brydone come through a tough game against Katie McMillan and Cameron Bryce, but they came through that game in good form. They took a 5 on a power play, which was the key moment of the game really, that turned it in their favour, and they've earned the right to be competing against Eve and Bobby in this semi-final this afternoon. So we're going to try and give you the best of both worlds. Coverage of both these games. We are in practice mode at this moment in time, so the players are warming up, and you'll be able to see that at the moment as they're just getting a feel for the current ice speed and amount of curl, preparing to get started and get underway. I will leave you for a moment or two, and we'll be back shortly as the games get started. as the warm-up continues, let me just mention the fact that we've got a chat function going on the YouTube channel. We've given some information about how we're planning to cover these two games in that, and we've had a couple of comments from people. Clock Basher, sounds like he's an Eve and Bobby supporter. Clock Basher, good afternoon, hello to you. Jack McCain, all the way from New York. Jack, hello there. You're very welcome. A little bit earlier in the day for you. Maybe a late breakfast. Anyway, anybody else wants to comment in the chat function, we'd welcome that. If you've got any questions, bring them forward. We'll try and answer them. Anything to improve your experience of these two semi-final games here from the National Curling Academy in Stirling. So just as we're waiting to get these games started, people will want to know who has hammer. You'll notice we're not showing a scoreboard because we're going to cover both games, so that would be confusing. So I'll keep you up to speed with the scores. In terms of hammer to start this game, the teams that qualified directly for this semi-final, these semi-finals, have earned the right to have hammer. So that is on our principal game, that is Jen Dodds and Bruce Mouat, and on the second game, that's Eve Muirhead and Bobby Lammie. So, making sure you know who's playing which colour as well. We've got Vicky Wright and Grant Hardie playing yellow stones, and Vicky will be playing the first stone in the feature game, and playing red stones on sheet D, the other game. Maggie Wilson will be playing the first stone. But just as this game's about to start, these games are about to start, I'm going to hand you back to the athletes now, and we'll see what conversation Grant Hardie and Bruce Mouat are having.
Yep. Weights there. Small bounce. Nice throw. Good.
I don't think Vicky took edge of 8 there. She looked inside 8 there. Yeah, I don't think you need edge anyway. Weight's good. Line only. Line only, Jen. Weight's really good. Okay. Not gonna curl. Good effort.
Weight's good. Aye.
So just a little bit of trivia for you. You'll notice Jen and Bruce are wearing some fairly bright kit here. That's Team World kit from the Continental Cup of, I think, of a couple of years ago. And a little bit of trivia. You probably can't see it on the camera, but on the back of Bruce's shirt, he's got the signatures, autographs of all of his Team World teammates from that event in Las Vegas. So I don't know if that jacket's been washed in a while. Probably wants to preserve the signatures, but anyway, it looks bright on the camera, so that's excellent. Vicky and Grant are wearing Team Europe Continental Cup kit from last season, I believe. So all 4 players looking very smart. Hand you back to Jen and Bruce.
Hard, Jen. Hard, hard, hard. Yeah, nice there.
Okay.
Good line call.
Even if I'm just top 12.
Yeah.
Just across to the other sheet. Robin Brydone's played lots of upweight shots this week, and here goes his first of this game. Sitting 2 yellow at the moment. He's playing the red stone. And he was trying to get the double there, I think, but we're left with 1 yellow stone counting just at the back of the button there. Let's switch back to the action on sheet C.
Same weight?
Yeah.
I'll play.
First didn't get past very much, did it?
Play a bit more.
Thought I was going to nick it.
Play like 12 weight. 12!
I'd rather have left it there than on the nose. He could just blast it.
Weight similar, hair up. Hard on the yellow. Hard. Okay.
Like that?
Yeah.
I don't think coming here really does us anything. Yeah.
We're just the 1, eh?
Inch outside the 8.
Second one.
Yeah.
So back to sheet B briefly. We've seen Robin's upweight shots here. Robin's drawing. Let's see what his control's like. Maggie's controlling him. He's sweeping it, as you can see. Just trying to draw the button, sit in front of that yellow stone that's the Lammie Muirhead stone. Just going to catch it, I think, and roll. So I suspect that's still sitting one yellow, but we'll cut back to the action as Grant Hardie plays on sheet C.
I got 15
Right.
for that one. I got 15-2 for the one that he froze. I think we're freezing. I think so.
Right.
Think so. Yep.
Yeah. Ah.
Thinking left. Think 15. 15.
Just didn't quite throw that one, to be honest.
Okay.
Right when we just pinged it double. Huh?
Wait, skip.
Drink. Looks okay.
Top 8 maybe.
No, right. Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Sorry.
Think so.
It's good we just got by that extra.
So as Bruce's stone there just caught the yellow at the top of the house, didn't quite get to a scoring position. Simultaneously we had his teammate from Team Mouat, Bobby Lammie, also playing a draw. In his case he got that to counting as a shot. So at the moment I think from where my view Bobby and Eve are sitting 2 with Maggie's last stone to go. So I'll keep you up to speed on that one, but we'll stay with Vicky Wright's shot on sheet C.
Wait there. Very good.
Just back line.
Yep.
And Maggie Wilson Stone just coming in here, just catching the yellow, tapping that. So that probably definitely sits 2 yellow with Eve Muirhead's last stone to come. Bobby's just looking to make sure it's 2. So Eve will be drawing for 3. Meanwhile, I think if we look at the action on sheet C, that Jen Dodds, her teammate of course in Team Muirhead, is not drawing here, but she'll be trying to ensure she gets 3 out of this. She's tapped her red stone, one that Bruce played a minute ago. Tap that one up, does she?
Close, yep. Hard! Hard! Gotta go, gotta go! Touch it. Nice shot.
She certainly tapped it up. How many did that result in?
Yeah. Great shot, Jen.
We think it's 3 red, but we'll confirm that in just a minute. Meanwhile, Eve Muirhead has just nicely drawn the button to sit 3 yellow. So our top seeds in these 2 semi-finals, the teams that qualified directly for the semi-finals, having won the pools, have come straight through. They've come straight through to the semi-final as a result. They've both taken, if we've got it right from the commentary box, they've both taken 3 shots at the first end to get them up and running nicely. Confirmed, that's 3 to Jen and Bruce on sheet C, and I'm certain it was 3 to Eve and Bobby on sheet D. We're with the action again. on sheet C, and we'll hand you back to the athletes, Bruce and Grant.
Should have guarded it, hindsight. If we just guard that tap, she's got to play the draw that you played for 2. You know, makes you play an easier shot and have to play a slightly tougher shot for less reward. Just lock it, even if we release it.
Over switch it slightly. I just got like almost 2 tenths less than your first draw.
I think we're there, Vicky. Okay.
Thinking middle. Here more's alright, I think. Weight's good. Weight's great, Jen. Straight.
Vicky, does that not just give up a steal too? I think we just try and make sure we score now. Yeah. Top yellow, top yellow.
Same ice.
You know, they're always just going to lie too if I play that. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I can maybe play it on the out turn. Just try and release them a wee bit.
Halfway. Halfway tight.
Here we go. If I can play something in the out.
Halfway. 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 How's line? Huh?
Don't mind that chase now. Just back 4. Yeah, like that.
Take it they don't have.
Yeah. Yeah.
They've got
Yeah, a wee bit. Pretty good.
an inch of that red. If they hit that, does it square it out? Okay, guard this side. I'll try and put it top 12 tight. Yeah. Top 12. Top 12 tight. Tight. Can't over curl here. Good.
So recognising it's
Doesn't do us
a
anything.
bit of a distance away, but we think that's sitting 2 red at the moment for this game between Vicky and Grant and Jen and Bruce, which is why Bruce put on that guard at the front. Let's see and listen to what Vicky and Grant have got to say about that and what they're planning to do about it.
Might make it now.
Yeah. Yeah, they get rid of that then. They just peel it. Maybe same shot, okay. Yeah, I'll just throw back 4. Okay.
All good?
So an inch more.
So we've cut to the other game, and Robin Brydone looks as though he's about to play one of his heavyweight rocks. All I can see at the moment is massive stones in the house, but I know quite a few of them are going to move in a minute. Here he comes. Just got to clear the guard by a whisker. Ooh, and he doesn't. Let's cut back to sheet C.
Jen, I'm thinking you just hit that and roll in. They've got this double run for maybe 1, but I think you just hit that and try and roll in. Even if you nose, it's okay. Even if you nose, it's okay. Normal? Nice normal. We're trying not to move this. Yep. Whoa. Yep. Hard. Hard. Gotta go, gotta go, gotta go. Set.
Enjoy this.
Okay.
No, just a hair high nose.
Okay.
You just want to nick the. Just
Good
want
that
to
we
nick the yellow, Vicky.
stuffed into it though, and rather than hitting the top of it and spinning up.
Probably just for one. Should.
Then you probably
I
have
don't
it
think it'll
halfway.
drag and miss the back one.
Might be for 2 if they reversed it enough, but have to sweep this yellow out probably.
I'm not going to do a lot. Where you want to throw it, I think. Where you want to hit it, sorry.
Yeah, I give you minimum ice as well.
Yeah.
Right. I think this will run bullet straight for her. Close. Real close.
So that, as you saw, was a 2 red at that end. So Jennifer Dodds, Bruce Mouat take a 5-0 lead. But let's cutting to the other game on sheet D. Maggie Wilson's last stone of the end. She's playing with weight. She's trying to move something around here to turn this end to her advantage. Robin's on it hard, sweeping. And now he's happy. and not possible to get in to move anything in the middle, so we think that was one yellow, but that'll be confirmed in just a moment. If so, that would be another shot to Eve and Bobby, which has been confirmed. So that's, after two ends, Eve Muirhead, Bobby Lammie lead 4-0 against Maggie Wilson and Robin Brydone. We'll back to sheet C, which is being led 5-0 by Jennifer Dodds and Bruce Mouat. Jennifer's first stone just coming to freeze on the back yellow there, and we'll hand you back to the athletes.
I think we're there, but not far away. Line only. Great shot. Nice, Vicky.
Like that. Back 4. Weight's okay. Key line. Okay. Top 4, key line. Hopefully it sits in. Sorry, Jen.
Just freeze the inside of the red. Like that. Okay.
So as Grant plays this stone, we've obviously had both games here. Big starts by Muirhead and Lammie and Dodds and Mouat. If you've not been following us, we've been running a mixed doubles league across the whole season here at British Curling. A triple round robin amongst all of our mixed doubles pairings, and top of that league, Muirhead and Lammie, closely followed by Dodds and Mouat. They came out on top. It came down to the last game, actually, of that triple round robin, and Eve and Bobby pipped Bruce and Jen in that last match to take that title, that league title. But it shows you how close they are as pairs across the whole season, and they've certainly started these semi-finals with intent, haven't they? But here we go. Bruce is back on, so let's hand back to him.
Just get so wrapped up with Jen.
How's line?
Not that's what they're around all week.
Weight's great. Carl?
I think we want to nose this. Push this one onto here. Probably kill that one. Just back line. Right the nose. Just so that yellow doesn't go out too far.
There now. Yeah. Unswept, really.
Your first one was 14.3.
Yeah.
But just that next one down is. You're probably the one who's looking at it.
Yeah.
I think an inch more and I'll try and throw similar weight. Inch again. Need inside nose.
Yeah. Hack. Well, yeah, I don't really care where that goes. It's more about where this wing finishes. And I hope that I don't roll here. So I'll try and get as close to nose as possible. Yeah. I think you hold the brush. Line's quite important here.
That 3's going to hurt us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So move over to sheet D for a minute. Robin Brydone looks as though he's going to play another up-weight run back. He's asking for just a little bit more ice from Maggie Wilson. He'll be playing onto the yellow, driving that back onto the red and hoping that then piles into the stones in and around the button. By Robin standard, this is control weight, I have to say. And he peeled that guard off, but didn't get the connection with the stone behind it. So we'll just stay with this for a minute. Bobby Lammie's next shot coming up. At the moment on sheet C, I can tell you that Grant and Vicky are considering their options, humming and hawing a little bit over this one. Difficult choice they've got to make, so we'll stay with this shot from Bobby Lammie. I know we've got some Bobby Lammie fans out there. We've had regular communication with a couple of them through the course of the week. So here's your big moment, Bobby. He must be working hard. His woolly hat's come off. And he's just playing a guard here to replace the guard that Robin peeled off a minute ago. Even him sound very comfortable with it. Just giving it a sweep to finish. Get it over, that's just onto or just over that centre line, which he's done nicely. So with that guard back on, we'll cut back to the action on sheet C, because Grant Hardie, they've made their mind up. Let's see what decision they've made as he plays this shot.
Guard this and just give him a shot for 2.
So Bruce and Jen were sitting 2 red before that shot. Grant's taken one of those red away, so sitting 1 red now.
Not the worst.
Right, okay.
Jen's shot, last red stone of this end to come. I'm glad you're enjoying the commentary from the players. I'm hearing comment from John Davis quoting Bruce. John, stroke Paul. I'm sure that comment about line is quite important. Will certainly help you when you're next on the ice. Probably help you with your coaching, Paul, as well. Key coaching points. Let's put the mics back on as Jennifer plays this shot.
What counts out of these 2?
Weight's good.
Who lies at 3rd and 4th? Hit this side, so the other 3 sides are better for us, really. Right, the nose.
Okay.
Just about. Yeah. Yep. Nose hair high. You probably have the weight, even if you stick it on the yellow, it should be enough to push the red. So it should be for 2, just a hair high.
She said it might only be for 1.
I think so, Vicky. Peel and make contact.
Aye, but it's coming down. She's good for the run.
So
Lucky.
there's one red on our feature match on sheet C. So that's one more to Jennifer Dodds, Bruce Mouat. They take a lead of 6-0 against Vicky Wright and Grant Hardie. Meanwhile, let's cut to sheet D. The last stone of this third end, Maggie Wilson playing red stones. It looks to me as though we're sitting 2 yellow. Eve Muirhead's just played the high guard, wanting to cut down all the run back options, make it nigh on impossible for Maggie to remove either of those stones or both of those stones and leave her sitting one or more. Let's see how Maggie gets on here. Coming on to this red and running that one back into the middle. Difficult angle to get spot on, and the end result is another 2 shots to Muirhead and Lammie. So they now lead 6-0 as well. So both semi-finals pretty one-sided at the moment in terms of scoreline, but some great play going on. What it's meant on sheet C is that the power play's been called in the fourth end by Vicky Wright and Grant Hardie. Power play gives an opportunity, of course, to score. Hopefully score more than 2. Certainly score more than 2. Gives that opportunity. So they've called it early with a chance to give them the chance to get back into this game, and exactly the same has happened on sheet D. So power plays very early in both these semi-finals, but probably being forced on them by the high scoring of Muirhead, Lammie, Dodds and Mouat. Let's focus on this shot. Back to Vicky as she plays this stone.
Good call. Nice call. Lucky.
The 2 power plays running in parallel have taken a different course already. You saw Jen Dodds tried to play the tick and just move the guard, but knocked it through the house, so it was replaced. Whereas on the other sheet, Eve was successful, did play the tick, so has opened the end up somewhat. Although Robin Brydone has put that guard back in place effectively himself with his first stone.
Halfway. Sure. That.
Yeah.
Vicky, maybe just tighten me up an inch, because I thought it was a little nicer.
Gonna take the out. Yeah. Try and hit 7/8. Try and roll to the centre as well. Okay. Actually, no, I'll take the end, sorry. Other side.
Yep. Gotta go.
Hard.
Whoa, whoa. Like 12? Yeah. Yeah. Take tight ice. If I wreck on the guard, it's fine. If I wreck on the guard, it's fine.
Yeah.
Yep.
I can't really just draw and leave a stubble for you because tomorrow then you've got nothing. Sure. Kind of freeze bump.
Try and hold it, Jen.
Hard, Vicky. Get out of the way.
Sit, sit. Good. Thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or this.
There is almost an element of symmetry going on in these two games. We've
Like
got
that.
2 red stones counting in the match we're looking at the moment, 2 yellow stones on the sheet next door. So the teams that called the power play both under some pressure, as they have been right the way through these games so far. Let's switch back to sheet D, because Bobby Lammie is about to play. He's playing with weight to take out the stone that Robin Brydone has just frozen up on one of the yellow stones. Here we go now. Just catching enough of that stone to send the red away and leave the yellow behind it in place as well. He'll be very happy with that. Meanwhile, back to Grant, who's sweeping a stone he's just delivered on sheet C.
Yeah, really good wing.
Sorry.
It's okay. It's up to you. You can either nose it or 2/3 over the top. Give me this turn.
If it was a couple of feet less, I could have probably curled it close.
Then you just go for nose and it'll probably run straight. Clean. Curl. Really gotta curl. Keep it going. All the way. Good, Jen.
Barrier weight. Like thick half. 2/3. Can you just throw it a kind of easy hack or like solid hack? That'd be nice, kind of 2/3 at solid hack.
Kept on falling back and I was like, ooh, here we go.
I know, it's like, that's when you're like, right, let's play normal.
Yeah. Good stuff.
I think so. Light.
looked as though Vicky Wright was trying to play the double there. Take out both reds and sit for 2 herself. But I suspect that is just confirmed as a 1, so that scoreline changes to 6-1 after 4 ends for Dodds and Mouat. Meanwhile, on sheet D, Maggie Wilson's last stone of this end is just coming into the house now, just drawing for 1 again. So both power plays, I said, had a certain symmetry to them, even though they started off quite differently. And the answer is they've both resulted in a 1 to the team that played that power play. So both sheets, 6-1. Muirhead and Lammie lead on sheet D against Wilson and Brydone. Dodds and Mouat lead 6-1 on sheet C against Wright and Hardie. I've just, before we hand back to the players, as the next end will commence shortly, Bob Kelly, hello there. Thanks for the message on the chat function. I hope the weather's nice in the Algarve. It's perhaps a little bit warmer than it is here in Scotland, or has been over the last few days anyway. I've got your question about coverage of the final through the BBC, and can we enable that to be available outside the UK. We'll ask the question, Bob, we'll ask the question. I am not sure what the answer will be, but we'll go and ask the question this afternoon once this game's finished. I hope you're well out there, and your golf's in good shape, even if your curling might be suffering a little bit. Back to sheet C.
On pole.
Nice.
Okay, back 4, back 8. Good, Jen. Good there.
Great. I think middle of 8's close, yeah.
Yeah, it's just slid hot, I think.
Good, wave's good.
So, Bob, I like to think this is a message back to Bob Kelly. Bob, I was trying to be sympathetic and helpful, but I'm not sure all the comments back in support that view, really. Something about get out and enjoy your suntan. Maybe there's a wee bit of green-eyed monster jealousy coming into play there. Let's switch to sheet D. Bobby Lammie, run back, or certainly peeling the guard at the very least in this match. They're 6-1 up, and off will come the guard. You can see that at the moment that's 1 red sitting counting, but even Bobby just clearing the guard off to keep their options open for later in the end. Let's head back to sheet C as Grant Hardie's just getting ready to play his next stone.
Sure? Think so.
Clean, clean. shot do you like?
What, for me?
Yeah.
Pretty bad.
I might get away with it. They're either going to make you play against 3 or they're just going to try and steal 1, but they're probably going to have to.
So as Grant's guard just comes to a halt there, let's switch to the action on sheet C. Bobby Lammie about to play his next stone. I've been watching Eve and Bobby discussing various options here. Let's see how he gets on. He's certainly playing with weight. I think this looks like a run back. Or just peeling the guard again. I'll read it right one day and give you the right commentary. Curse the commentator. Anyway, it's good to see. And we'll just stay with this one as Robin will probably look to replace that guard, I suspect. We'll do that because on sheet C, Bruce and Jen are having a bit of a discussion about their options, so we'll just stay with this shot from Robin. Robin and Maggie will be desperate to steal 1 or 2 shots at this end to keep themselves in the game. This is the 5th end of 8. Time's not on their side now at 6-1 down. So that guard from Robin's possibly over-curled a smidgen. Let's hand back to the action on sheet C. Bruce Mouat, if he's decided what his options are, let's see what he's going to play.
You like it?
Okay.
Yep. Okay, that's good.
Just a wee bump to freeze. Like that?
It's a really good result. Yeah, it was like oh, I'm so close.
If that back counter wasn't there, I'd like it, but I think you just bump it to freeze. Because if you try and bump and lie 2, he's probably got a double and ping all 3 of them for 2. And that's curtains. Okay.
Probably have to play the nose double to try and blast them. Might get a sneaky 2 out of it.
Yeah. Probably want to give me the same, to be honest.
Lammie's 3rd stone of this end. This time he's avoiding the guard, he's coming round it. Going to move some of the stones in the house. Eve's calling him hard to sweep to clear the guard, which he's done. Oh, no, he hasn't quite done. Just nicked it. Thought he'd got past that one. So back to Vicky's last stone of the action, her last stone of the action on sheet C. Nice, so that leaves Vicky and Grant sitting for 1 and giving Jennifer Dodds the task of drawing the button, I think, to take 1 at this 5th end. We'll stay with this action, see how Jennifer gets on.
Maybe. Yeah. Okay. I think you're pretty close. Maybe back 4 right now. Line only.
Starts, isn't it? How's come down though?
Really close, Jen. Okay.
Good effort. 1-0.
Yeah.
Cracking attempt by Jennifer Dodds, but 1 yellow. So a steal by Vicky Wright, Grant Hardie. That will improve their mood as we move into the 6th end. They're 6-2 down, but the comeback's on. Meanwhile, let's cut to the action on sheet D. The last stone of the end, Eve Muirhead. Currently, we're sitting 2 red, so 2 to Wilson and Brydone, counting. This last stone from Eve. Coming down with weight, looking to hit, nose hit 1, like that. Move one of them away, but it's left sitting 1. So we've had a steal on this sheet as well. A steal for Wilson and Brydone, so the comeback's on both sheets. This is what we like to see. But those comebacks are going to have to be pretty dramatic now. We're in the 6th end. We're 6-2 to Eve Muirhead, Bobby Lammie against Maggie Wilson, Robin Brydone. And 6-2 to Bruce and Jen against Vicky and Grant on the sheet next door, which we'll swing back to now. Bruce and Jen have called a power play. Let's hear from Grant and Bruce.
Yep. Weight's good. Weight's great. Shot.
Yeah.
Nice. Third. Half stone's pretty close to stuffing, eh? Okay. Yep. Hard. Really gotta go. Hard. Hard.
So just to give you a quick insight, we can see the score, 6-2 on this match between Dodds Mouat, Wright Hardie. We've got coaches doing statistics on the games, which we do a lot of, and we use to support training and development of the players, of course. And you've got to take these with a pinch of salt, because mixed doubles is an interesting format, okay? But overall, Vicky and Grant, after 4 ends, were playing 63%, whereas Jennifer and Bruce were playing 89%. So that tells you, gives a big reason as to the difference in the scoreline ultimately with those performances. As the coach that's taking the stats has said to me, you know, really though, that's being caused by they're not getting position early in the ends, getting the right position early in the ends. The setup isn't right for them, so they're then having to throw more technical, more challenging shots later in the end. And that's obviously harder, and you don't stand as high a chance of performing it to perfection. So, just give you a little bit of an insight there from one of our coaches. I will pass you back now, though, to Bruce and Grant.
I'm thinking hack. Try and roll to centre line, yeah? Are they back 8? Okay, I'll just roll 2 stones then. Oh. Weight's good. Needs to roll 10.
So just to update you statistically on the match on sheet D, we've got a similar scoreline, of course, and look, we've actually got very similar statistics, if I'm honest. I've just managed to lose them, but the team, Eve and Bobby Muirhead throwing about 84-85% at the moment after 4 ends. Maggie and Robin more in the 50s, I'm afraid, which explains the difference in the scoreline ultimately. So that kind of sums things up really, but the fight back's on, so those statistics will change if the scoreline starts changing as well. So that's the positive side. Just a couple of comments coming in on the chat. I'm really enjoying that. Lots of people chatting from outside of Scotland actually, Portugal, the States, all over the place, Lisbon. But Bob saying looks like we're heading for the dream final. Well, I'm not sure about the dream final. I'm sure that Robin, Maggie, Vicky and Grant would have something to say about that, but certainly in terms of the final that would bring together the 2 pairings that have topped the league table across this season here at British Curling, it would certainly bring them back together. We've had some classic ding-dongs between them so far this season, and I have to say it would be a mouth-watering prospect. 11 o'clock tomorrow, GMT, on the BBC. Back to the players.
It's really curling. Okay. I like it. Yeah.
It just like turned at the last minute.
Yeah, I saw that. What did you get on that, sorry?
15.
Right. Should have the blast. I just didn't want to put it level and then he froze the inside and then I couldn't get rid of it.
Yeah. No, I like it.
Yeah.
So Vicky Wright's last stone of this end, facing 3 red. Of course, Jen Dodds has a stone to follow this one. So can Vicky position this, bury this in a way that makes it hard for Jennifer to remove it? Coming down to freeze on the red, I think would be her objective. Nice line. Must have just created a bit of a gap between the yellow and the red stone. From this distance, the angle we're looking at, we can't see how big a gap that is. But it hasn't taken Jen and Bruce long to decide their options here.
Yep. Hard. Gotta go. Really hard. Hard. Gotta go. Good. 3. Good game.
So the joy of mixed doubles you saw there for Jennifer Dodds, played the stone with weight, instantly up and chasing it to sweep it because Bruce was calling her hard, but it did the trick. So 3 red, and I think that's the game called. It is. So 3 to Jen Dodds and Bruce Mouat brings this game to an end, 9-2, and we will jump quickly to sheet D. Maggie Wilson's last stone of this 5th end. So let's stay with this. Maggie drawing. See how she gets on here. Drawing into the house, onto the button. Robin gives a thumbs up, so that was a nice shot by Maggie. I think that means they're sitting counting anyway. But of course Eve has her last stone of this end to go yet. Just whilst Eve and Bobby are mulling their options, of course, we don't have microphones. Those were being worn by Bruce and Grant. I might get a chance to have a conversation with Bruce and Jen in a minute or two. We're hoping they're going to come and join me. Eve and Bobby not wearing microphones. We've run out of microphones. So I'll just keep chatting things through. Whilst I do so, a question from Elaine. Outside Britain, not able to watch the final. Would it be possible to post the final on YouTube afterwards? Elaine, that's another great question. It's not something we've considered, I'll be honest with you, so we'll look into it. All I can promise is that we'll see if we can do that, ask the questions and see if it's possible, and if so, we could choose a time that works to stream that one. Certainly, we're looking forward to the final tomorrow. It'll be a tasty match. But here's Eve Muirhead, playing with weight. Looking to drive her yellow stone back onto the red and away, I believe. So that's at least 1 red gone. What I can't see from here is how many is the upshot of that end, but we'll bring that to you in a minute once Dave Murdoch, Olympic head coach, puts the score up. And the answer is it's 1 to yellow. So we talked about the fight back being on. 1 red, I beg your pardon. Thank you, been corrected by Bruce Mouat. It's a good job he's not colourblind. The fight back's on, as we said, so that's now 6-3 to Muirhead and Lammie against Wilson and Brydone. And whilst they set up this power play for Muirhead and Lammie, I've been joined by Bruce Mouat and Jennifer Dodds. First of all, congratulations. Jen, talk us through that final from your perspective. You got off to a flying start.
Yeah, the first end we really capitalised. We got set up well early, and then we had a nice wee hack weight for 3 that Bruce called really well. I just trusted his judgment and just played it.
Teamwork in action. Bruce, how do you enjoy mixed doubles? How do you enjoy playing with Jen?
Yeah, I really enjoy mixed doubles. It's a lot of fun to play. There's so many stones in play and you're looking at angles all the time, and it's the kind of curling that I enjoy anyway. And then playing with Jen, like you, as Jen says, like a bit modestly said there, she played a simple hack weight, but it was a pretty tough hack weight to score 3.
I'm glad you gave her the credit for that. Quite right.
And yeah, so making shots like that, you would love to play with any player that's doing that.
Good. Well, there you go. Okay. It's a love fest in here, team.
Valentine's Day together.
Valentine's Day. Okay. We won't ask about any Valentine's Day cards or anything else of that nature. We had to ask Hammy McMillan about that earlier in the week, and at that point, I'll never ask anybody else about Valentine's Day cards ever again. Listen, let's look ahead to the final. You've come out firing here in this semi-final after a long lie this morning, a lazy start because you weren't featuring in the quarterfinals. You've got a slightly later start tomorrow. We're going to throw the first stone at 11 o'clock. Who would you fancy playing tomorrow in the final, Jen?
Either team, really. They both seem to be playing pretty well at the moment. Maggie and Robin seem to be having a wee bit of a comeback anyway, but I think whoever's in the final has done a great job to get there, and it's going to be a tough game, whoever the opponent is.
Very good. You're right. Maggie and Robin certainly were on fire this morning in their quarter-final, in fairness, as well. Bruce, any preference from your side?
Well, we both have teammates on one side of the thing, so
Of course
a
you
wee
do.
bit biased maybe, but yeah.
Is that good? You want to play the teammates?
Yeah,
or
of
you...
course. Like, it's always competitive when you get to play your teammates, so that would be fun to play them. But if Maggie and Robin get there, then we'll be happy to play them as well.
Listen, that's great. Now, can I just... The last comment is on your kit that you're wearing today. We've mentioned it in the commentary because it's very bright. I'll bring sunglasses in if you're going to wear it tomorrow. Can you promise me you will? Because it certainly stands out. I like it.
We can do. We were debating which one to wear, but then we saw this morning Grant and Vicky had the other Conti Cup t-shirts on, so we were like, well, we can't have 4 people on the same sheet wearing the same top, so we decided to go for these ones.
I love it when a fashion plan comes together. We'll need to make sure that there's whoever wins this other semi-final, and we'll focus back on that in just a sec. We'll have a conversation about kit tomorrow, and we'll make sure that you're involved in that. Bruce, Jen, congratulations. Great semi-final. You've had a cracking week all the way through this competition. We'll look forward to seeing you tomorrow, 11 o'clock sharp. I'll let you get out and enjoy the rest of this semi-final.
Thank you.
Thanks.
So back to the action here. As I say, it's 6-3 at the moment to Muirhead and Lammie. As you can see on the footage, and I'm just catching up with, we're at the moment, Robin and Maggie are sitting counting 1 red shot behind a guard, and they're considering their options at the moment. Of course, Eve and Bobby have the hammer at this end. It is a power play. They'd be hoping on a power play to score at least 2. And probably in the 7th end, if they were to score 2, that could put the game out of reach of Maggie and Robin. But crunch question is, what can Maggie and Robin do about that? It looks as though the decision has been made. Looks as though planning to draw another one in behind the guard, behind the yellow guard, to certainly sit counting 2. And they've got they'd have a 3rd stone in the house, just to the right of Maggie at the moment, as you can see. So Robin's played that, he's following it, he's just keeping it clean at the moment. Maggie's encouraging him to keep sweeping. Is he on that guard? Going to catch the guard. Does quite a nice job in guarding anyway. Just whilst Bobby heads back for his next stone, I see Fiona Simpson is looking forward to seeing the Portuguese mixed doubles team on the ice next year. Yep, we'd all like to see that. Fiona, I have to ask, would that be yourself teaming up with Bob Kelly? Would you qualify for Portugal at that point? Bobby peeling that guard that's just been played. And opens the front of the house right up, which works for Eve and Bobby, of course, with the last stone in this end. We talked with Bruce and Jen there about their outfits, their very bright Continental Cup outfits that they chose to wear specifically. Eve and Bobby in a slightly more sober outfit here for this semi-final. But the quality of curling hasn't been any less bright than that shown by Team Dodds and Mouat. We've got time clocks running on all these games, on this semi-final, and just to let you know, Both teams have got about 4.5 minutes left of the 22 to conclude this 7th end and play the 8th if we go into an 8. So for mixed doubles, that's time aplenty, so no time pressures. Robin Stone clears the guard, taps the yellow stone of Team Muirhead's to just almost out of the house, but it leaves Robin and Maggie sitting 3 red at this moment in time. Bobby Lammie's got 1 stone left, then Maggie Wilson's last stone, and then of course Eve will conclude this 7th end. Don't forget, if you're joining us tomorrow, we're going to be streaming this game, the final, on the BBC. BBC iPlayer, BBC Scotland website. I know we've had some requests, can we get that unblocked so that it can be seen outside the UK? I have undertaken to go and ask that question, so if you're not in the UK and you're trying to watch that game, keep trying. I can't guarantee we'll be able to succeed, but I will go and ask the question with our colleagues and partners at the BBC. They're doing a great job of covering curling recently. We had them in here filming the final of the teams event that we played, it's only last week. The amount of matches we've had in recent times, it feels longer ago than that. That's a nice shot by Bobby. Counting, sitting for 1, it's got the red behind it, maybe not frozen up on it completely. Robin giving Maggie, just looks like the edge of the stone to take that yellow away, leave the red behind it in play still. But in doing so might remove his other red stone there, we'll see. Another question that's just cropped up. Robert has asked about the wheelchair curling team being on a webcast. You're right, Robert. It's one of the excellent curl-up series being run by Scottish Curling. I'll tell you more about that in a minute. Let's watch and focus on Maggie's shot first, though. They're happy at the moment. No work by Robin. He's just tracking the stone, keeping it clean. Little tickle there. And there you go, a nice shot by Maggie. The yellow disappears, so does 1 red, but it leaves them sitting 3 red still. So the power plays in this game, Robin and Maggie managed to take a 1 in their own power play in the 4th end, and at best Eve and Bobby will be able to match that in this 7th end. Looks as though Eve's just going to draw for the 1. Bobby's a pretty keen sweeper. You can see he's working it pretty hard. The pressure he's putting on that brush. And he's going to have to keep sweeping it hard here. Got to get into the 4-foot and does so nicely. So well played, Eve. Well swept, Bobby. 1 yellow. So we're 7-3 after 7 ends. Robin's looking at Maggie. There's some debate going on, and the decision is that the match goes on, I'm pleased to say. Which is good. That gives me a chance, Robert, to finish what I was saying to you about the wheelchair curling, which is that, yes, Scottish Curling are running the latest in their curl-up series. If you head to their website, there's full details there. It will feature the British Curling wheelchair curling squad and Paralympic head coach, Sheila Swan. I believe that's taking place on March the 3rd, so maybe, what's that, a couple of weeks' time? Robert, I see you're watching from the States. Will you be able to watch that on YouTube? The answer is I don't know what format's being used for that that webcast. So if you head to the Scottish Curling website, that'll give you the full details and you'll be able to ask the question there. But I'd certainly recommend the subject material, Robert, and for anybody else that wants to get a greater insight into the life of a wheelchair curler, the kind of training, the commitment needed, how COVID has impacted on the squad and the programme this year, and how they're very focused on preparing for the Paralympic Games in February, March 2022. And of course, before that, they've got hopefully a rearranged World Championships. Their World Championships was cancelled some time ago. Still optimistic that World Championships will go ahead later this year, but there'll be more details on that in due course. So we mentioned the statistics earlier, the player statistics, their own performances individually and as a pair. And we said that for things to be turned around, for the fight back to commence, Maggie's and Robin's playing statistics would have to increase. Well, I've just seen their latest update after 6 ends, and they certainly have. They were kind of low 50s, and they're now into mid-60s actually, so on the rise, which is really good to see, and that's reflected in the scoreboard, of course. 7-3 in this 8th end, so it's asking a lot, but they're having a good crack at this one and not giving up, which is great to see. They've not given up all week, in fairness. I think by their own admission, they started off in great form, then they went through a bit of a midweek dip in form, lost a couple of matches that they were probably hoping to win, and then they bounced back strongly. And we saw them in the quarter-final this morning. They took a 5 at one end to really seal that victory. So as a pair, they've been on form this week. They both work, of course, but development officers for Scottish Curling. So curling's their life, 24/7 really, and it's great to see them here competing so hard. So Bobby opens up the front end there, clears off those 2 guard stones. Looks to me like it's sitting too red at the moment, but they're unprotected now. Suspect Robin will do something about that with his stone coming up. Just as Robin's preparing to play, a shout out again to Robert Prenovio. Hello Robert, recognise that you've played against the Scottish and British wheelchair curling squad many times since 2004. Best wishes to you from Scotland. If you're still curling, Robert, we look forward to coming up against you in the future. Just going to draw right into the house and sit on those scoring red stone. Yep. Just freezes on it, slightly off on a corner. I suspect that'll be a bit of a red rag to Bobby Lammie's bull, with a chance to move those stones now. And 2 of those red stones disappear, and that, as a result, is game over. Run out of stones, not a chance to make up enough shots, so a concession by Robin Brydone and Maggie Wilson, having played very well through this week and a very strong semi-final early, and made a good fist of a fight back in the semi-final here, but they've been beaten 7-3 by Eve Muirhead and Bobby Lammie, who advance to the final against Jennifer Dodds and Bruce Mouat. That's tomorrow morning at 11 o'clock, just in case you'd missed me saying that one earlier. It brings together a clash of teams Mouat and Muirhead. We'll enjoy that one. I'm going to see if I can have a quick word with Eve and Bobby before we shut this coverage down. You might just want to hear from them, get their views of that game, and perhaps more importantly, what colour tops are they going to wear in the final? We know that Bruce and Jen are going multicoloured if they can, so we've got to sort the fashion element out here. So just stay with me for a minute or two. A couple of interesting comments. Clock Basher, don't like the way the play always gets cluttered on the centre line. Certainly mixed doubles is as a form, there's a fair degree of consistency, isn't there, in terms of the form of the game and the way it's played. But listen, let's stop talking about that, because I've been joined by Eve Muirhead and Bobby Lammie, fresh off the ice. Congratulations, Eve. Congratulations, Bobby. A semi-final win. Eve, just talk us through the game very briefly. You happy with that one?
Yeah, really, really happy. We played very well the first few ends, and then they got a couple of steals in 5 and 6, but given their dues, they played a couple of pistol draws, and I was just playing shots to give them one. But I think we played the scoreboard well, and a pretty solid performance. Bobby,
you did come out flying, didn't you, really? Was that the benefit of a lie-in this morning, because you didn't have to come and play the quarter-final?
Possibly, maybe a wee bit fresher, but yeah, that kind of quick start gave us the kind of opportunity to kind of give them a few steals and kind of see it out.
Very good. Well, look, you've had a great week, guys. You went through the round-robin phase. You just dropped the one game. You've now won the semi-final, and it's a couple of old friends you come up against in the final tomorrow in Bruce Mouat and Jennifer Dodds. So you play with Bruce, obviously, Bobby. You play with Jennifer, Eve. I could ask you lots about team dynamics and how that plays out in mixed doubles when you're playing teammates, but I'm not going to. I'm going to ask you about your fashion sense. Okay? Okay? Yeah, I know. Because they came out today wearing some very, I'll have to say, garish Conti Cup outfits from, I think, a couple of years ago, okay? Team World, okay? You've taken a slightly more demure approach in this match, if you don't mind me saying so. What's the fashion thinking for tomorrow's game, Eve? We need you looking, you've got to take them on. You've got to win the fashion battle. If you don't win the fashion battle, how are you going to win the on-ice battle?
I think we'll just focus on the on-ice battle, to be honest.
Oh, don't let me down, Eve! Come on!
Well, I just like, you know what, like we knew that we were going to get a few pictures taken today, so it was good to look like we're like a team out there.
Yes.
And yeah, they had their Conti Cup tops on. I know Vicky and Grant also had their Conti Cup tops on. And me and Bobby do have the same tops on, but you know, all 4 of us can't wear the same, so we'll just let them wear them. I also know that Bobby's just moved house, so whether or not he could find his Conti Cup, it might still be boxed up, Bobby. Is that the case?
Quite possibly. Might put on a wee pair of colourful socks for you.
Colourful socks, I'll take that. Listen, on that note, I think we should end this broadcast. Eve, Bobby, congratulations again. We'll see you at 11 o'clock tomorrow morning. We're broadcasting on the BBC tomorrow. You'll be delighted, so come seriously spick and span. And we look forward to watching you in the final against Jennifer Dodds, Bruce Mouat, 11 o'clock tomorrow. If you've enjoyed this broadcast, we look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Thank you very much. This is British Curling out.